improve your aim. For most, when talking about aim improvement, they think about aim labs and Kovacs. Some even wonder if aim trainers even work. For the short answer, yes. But it has to be focused training, and that doesn't mean drinking 5 doses of GFU to feel like you are Goju using his domain expansion. Even if you aim train and you have the best aim of all times, if your crosser placement sucks, you will be the most inconsistent player of all times. That's because usually the time to kill window in Valorant is around 0.3 seconds. It takes time to recognize, aim, and shoot. Even more if you have to move a greater distance from your crosshair to their head. That is why crosshair placement is important, as it will shave down the time to kill your opponent. This is one of my new students, and these are some of his struggles with aiming. I would say information is one of the biggest things in this game that someone needs, right? Aim is like 20%. Information is, I would say, 30%, and the rest is what you do with that information and your aim.
All right.
Right? So 50% is your decision making and your mechanics together, but without individual mechanics and the information, you can't really do much.
Someone come. I'm smoking side off for you guys right now. Hold site, guys. Go get back on site. Someone come flank with me so I can do my lineups. Here.
So this death here, unnecessary. Crosser placement, really low. I can tell like every time you move your crosshair long distances like this.
Yeah.
Instead of going straight like that, you go like this.
Yeah.
And then you try to readjust after. I can give you a good example because this happened right here as you enter the site. Okay, look at your crosshair now. Can you even see your crosshair?
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's just kind of like try and see where if you look up and down. Right now, headshot angle level, perfect, right?
Yeah.
Do you see how it deep? Like if we go back a few, look at that.
Yeah.
Brandon's back site.
You look at the floor, and then you look again at the floor, and then back at your head height and back at the floor.
Yeah.
You're gonna shoot this guy before your crosshair is perfect. Like your crosshair is not on his head. Until your crosshair placement is good, I need you to strafe and aim and then shoot.
Someone come flank with me so I can do my lineup.
All right.
Here.
Realistically, this is unlikely for you to ever shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
If anything, your crosshair placement here is bad. Not only because it's on his body, but also because it's too close to the wall, right?
Yeah.
Do you see him right now?
Yeah.
You just recognize that he's there. So realistically, right? If you see, like, imagine this is the box, right? And your crosshair placement should be, depending on your reaction time, but minimum, it should be around here.
All right.
Because by the time that he swings out, that's where his head is gonna be, right?
Yeah.
One, if he stops earlier, it might be a little bit closer here, but your crosshair should still like be easy to flick, right? But if you have your crosshair here, you will never hit anyone like that unless they jiggle, right? The only time you want to put your crosshair placement this close to the box is if they're jiggling you.
Yeah.
And the problem with jiggling is that jiggling is usually the conditioning to your wide swing. And the reason why a wide swing works so well is because we condition him to put your crosshair close to the box, and then he swings out really far, so you miss all your bullets, and then while he's swinging really far, he's aiming at your head, and then he stops and shoots, right?
Okay.
So never put your crosshair this close to the wall unless you expect him to jiggle first. And oftentimes, no one jiggles first. If you see someone jiggling, you shoot once close, so you bait them into thinking your crosshair is here, and you move your crosshair back there right before they swing. But generally speaking, you want to put your crosshair a little bit further out. And this also depends on how far they are, right? Because if I did this really small, these two distances wouldn't be that noticeable. But the closer you are, the closer you see that the distance is quite large, right? So think about that, and let's see. This is a medium distance. I'll put it around a little bit further out from where his head is right now. But if I was a lot closer, my crosshair placement would be a lot further out.
Okay, so the closer you are, the further you want to put it out.
Your crosshair, exactly. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. And if you'd like to be the next student, you can apply it in my Discord, link down in the description.
Okay. Brandon's lit.
Alright, you can dip.
Yeah, rotate. Oh.
It's okay. Yeah, it's just a knife out for no reason there. Round 2, knife I call them danger zones, right?
Yeah.
If someone could come out of an angle at any time, I will be like have my gun out.
Okay.
When you just enter the site, this area here, this block,
Yeah.
is a danger zone at all times. Not only that, you guys have no trips, which means that someone could come back, and so this whole area is also a danger zone. So you're covered by dangerous zones and you pulling out your knife. Number 2, do not look at the gun to pick up the gun.
Okay.
Imagine a different scenario here with me, right? Imagine that right here, instead of looking at the dead body, you're looking at like the floor, kind of like you're looking for a coin or something. And then,
Yeah.
what is that? That's not a proper swing,
Yeah.
right? You're here just
Yeah.
swinging because you need to look somewhere, but realistically, you're not looking like you want to take a fight here. You don't
Yeah.
swing with your knife out. You don't swing looking at the floor. You don't swing opening to 3 angles at once and just aiming at nothing, right? So you realistically, you'd pre-aim this. You know how to do the slice of the pie, right?
I is it like with cutting the corners when you're supposed to
Yeah,
be
so
like?
imagine a pie,
All right.
right? We cut them into pieces. This is my last resort. No, just kidding. But you get this, right? This is a pie. You slice. This is a slice, right?
Yeah.
So think of this like this. This is your vision cone,
Okay.
right? So this is one slice. When you look at from here, this is your vision cone. You want to isolate this angle only.
Okay.
And then once you isolated this angle, what is the other common angle? It's right here. So you then swing a little bit more out so you can only see that angle. Sure, you can say, hey, now I'm aiming at this angle, I'm exposed to this other angle. That is Valorant. It happens, but your part is to clear one angle at a time. If you move, let's say you just move straight out, aiming at this angle, and then this guy was just holding here, it's your fault for not looking there first, right?
Yeah.
But if you looked at that first, and then you looked at the other one, he could be anywhere. But you gotta, like, if you don't clear one at a time, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna swing and there's gonna be 2,
Yeah.
right? You don't want that either. So that's what I mean by the slice of the pie. And you can even number them, right? So assuming that we have smokes, which you do, and they smoked heaven, what are the first angles? So this is number 1 here, which is the first one that you see when you going in. Then you're gonna have number 2, and then number 3, right? And you can draw lines. That is your movement, right? So let's put some dotted lines. That's your movement as you go and you swing out. So that is 1, that is 2, and then that is 3, right?
Yeah.
As you swing this way, you have to clear one angle at a time. That's 1, 2, 3. I'll give you another example. Let's say it's easier on other maps to show this, but okay, let's go into C. Your first angle when you're on long is to check 1, 2, 3, and then 4. That's just going from long, right? When you swing, the first thing that you're gonna see is this. Second angle is this one, and then third one, and fourth one. You don't want to swing straight out, and then there's a guy on angle 3 and angle 4, or angle 2 and angle 3, right? You want to clear one at a time. That's the best way you have to kind of succeeding into this entry. And then that's just from long, right? So when you go out here, first angle that you get exposed to, this angle here, right?
Yeah.
And then assuming this is all smoked, right?
Yeah.
Past these 2 points, you're always going to be exposed to this angle and this angle here, so you got to be worried about that at all times. And then once you get out of this point here, you're going to be exposed to this angle here and the top of the box, right? That's why it's very important that you use utility out. The more utility you use, the less angles you have to worry about. That's why smokes are so important, is because it cuts off angles you have to check.
Okay.
So knife out here was just a bit silly. No cut off the pie.
Oh, Neon, get a 1, get 1.
She doesn't have comms.
Oh, he pushed out garage close. Trade.
Jeremy, if you can get to us as soon as possible, that'll be huge.
Damn it! I knew he was waiting there.
You're really good at tracking this side of the doorway. Which makes me think that you should be really good at tracking outside, right? like this whole time you're tracking. Look at this. Look at all times where your crosshair is. Whoa, 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 not whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you slow down your sense For the first few days, you're gonna have smooth aim until you get used to it, and then it's gonna go back to this. So if you were sure that he was there,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Well, I could have flashed.
1, you could have flashed. 2, pre-aim, then swing, so your aim is exactly where you want it to be, right?
Yeah.
Now, crosshair placement, not desirable, because you're just running down, right?
Yeah.
And then, did you aim and then shoot? No, you're pretty low too, but
Jamie,
let's
if you
just
can
go
get
here.
as soon as possible. That'll be huge.
See?
Okay, what could you have done here using utility?
Well, I think I know I had the flash though, so I definitely could have flashed that before I swung that.
So you're pretty certain that this guy was here, and you
Yeah.
are here. So,
Yeah.
okay, 1, you could have flashed. What else?
I forgot what util I had left there, because I think I've already used the clone by now. I feel like trying to send a TP down. Oh, I could have faked the TP though.
Yeah.
Instead of just, I didn't have to actually for real, but I could have faked.
Yeah, so
It did.
you could have sent the TP somewhere here, faked it, and then just waited. This guy would come out running, and then you shoot him on the back of the head. You could have sent it and actually committed. Doesn't really matter because the team already cleared this area. And then you could have just waited for him to swing you, or you could have flashed, right?
Yeah.
So if you are pretty certain someone is around this area, there is no reason to not use utility. If it's a waste, you just go to your teammates and you're happy ever after. If it doesn't happen, then, you know, if he was there, then you get a kill. So it's a win-win regardless, right? Because your point is to fight the enemy with your team.
Yeah.
Try and avoid 50-50 fights the more you can. Use your utility, you reduce 50-50 fights, and fighting with your teammates, you reduce 50-50 fights, right? And
Yeah.
so here was just not necessary for that.